Hi, I am Izzy Fenwick and I am very excited to be bringing you a new podcast series from the Aotearoa Circle called The Circle We Keep. I'm going to have a chat with my mum, Jennie Fenwick, about Dad co-founding the Circle and where some of those principles came from. I am super pumped to be bringing you this series, so follow along while I talk to public and private leaders about New Zealand's natural capital and future prosperity for the country. Follow along, join, subscribe, send me a carrier pigeon with questions if you have any, and I look forward to seeing you there. I think back quite often to my earliest memory with Dad, and he had been reading this report, and it was our environment report from Ministry for the Environment. And I was like, "What are you reading?" And he, started to explain it to me, and I just vividly remember this aha moment when he was explaining that what was really concerning about this report wasn't just the nature decline from a conservation perspective, but from an economic perspective for New Zealand. I remember that moment where I kind of shifted from thinking about nature as a conservation issue and realising what an imperative it was to our economy.
I think Dad was a real early adopter of attempting to change people's perception of nature and to move it into an economic frame, because it was anti-business and business was going to be what moved the dial.
When it comes to nature and natural capital, it needed to be a lot more systemic than just individual businesses thinking more sustainably, and I think that again is where the Circle came from.
He wanted companies and government sectors to talk to each other to make positive decisions for New Zealand that didn't wait for legislature. We've got a 3-year election cycle, and he just thought, we can't wait anymore for governments to make us do the right thing. We have to just start doing it anyway.
And I do think one of the things that's holding us up is a real lack of literacy around what natural capital means and what are the core elements of our economy.
You mean things like electricity and
land and soil and
you don't
water.
mean tourism.
I don't mean tourism. I don't mean, our beautiful lakes and mountains. I mean how we make money. Is
what drives the businesses.
Correct.
Keeps the lights on, so to speak.
It's exactly right. 75% of New Zealand's stock exchange is reliant or highly reliant on natural capital, and I think that would shock some people. I think people
it shocked me.
Yeah. So one of the things that the Circle is trying to do, and that we're trying to do with this podcast, is lift that understanding and lift that literacy.
Such a good idea.
This is a core element of New Zealand's GDP, New Zealand's economic success.
And how many countries in the world can literally draw a circle around their borders that touch nothing except nature? And we've got to use that circle like a cloak of protection and, show the world that public and private can work together, and maybe something like the Circle can be, copied all around the world, and public and private just become a natural partnership. I know that he'd be incredibly proud of what the Circle's done. He'd be amazed at what you've done. But also, I think he would think we have to try harder. So, don't get comfy.
We could be really opportunistic about New Zealand's economic prosperity, or we could wait for someone to tell us off. Just had a really beautiful and emotional chat with Mum about where the Circle came from and some of Dad's thinking in those early years when he founded it. So I hope you enjoy listening to Mum and I talk about those things, and see you for the next episode. Ka kite.